let's do this thing.
This is the life. All right, boss man's coming in.
Ooh, doggy.
Arrived to a new island.
We've got about a 16-hour passage.
We just got the sail out, circumnavigating the globe one wave at a time, one island at a time.
That's right. Getting it done.
The only direction is forward. Indescribable.
It was rougher than...
Oh, really rough. Welcome back to Sailing Tela. For today, we are leaving the anchorage and heading out just around the corner about 2 miles to a marina because we've got this weather coming. And because of that, we need to seek out a little shelter for a couple of days. We are going just 2 miles around this little corner right here. We are going to go into the marina, but that's actually not what this video is going to be about. First, we gotta seek a little bit of shelter during all this crazy wind that's coming, and there's gonna be a lot of swell in here. So we'll actually catch right back up with y'all out on the water. But first, I decided to take my time and soak in the last few moments in this gorgeous, remote anchorage without any other boat neighbors inside.
We're ready. Ready. Let's do this thing.
This is the life. We've been doing this for 18, 19 months now. One day this is gonna be over and it's just gonna be a memory to look back on. It's really crazy to think about like that. Getting to experience freedom that is genuinely indescribable. Freedom like this, I don't know how you could experience it any other way. Hopefully, y'all can live vicariously through us until you get out there and do whatever it is that you're called to do. Because we are only 2 miles out from the marina that we're gonna be heading into today, we went ahead and got all our vendors out, and Shawn is finishing up getting our lines out right now. We'll be there in literally 2 miles. All right, boss man's coming in. 2 miles and we'll be there, babe.
Might be the shortest stop we've had on record.
Come on in, close. Come on. We arrived into our slip. Quite an interesting situation getting in here. We called on the radio a couple times. Nobody answered. The guidebook said that you might just have to pick a slip yourself. Then let the office people know. So we did pick a slip ourselves. Pretty interesting, but we are in our slip for a night or two. Now we're gonna go walk around the little town, baby.
Let's go explore and see what's out there.
Water is pretty.
As we spent the day exploring this tiny town with a population of only 7,500 residents, we discovered unique art scattered all throughout and a beautiful, spacious park to roam around. This is a quiet town with not much going on, but we thoroughly enjoyed our brief stay, especially after experiencing an excellent lunch at this local restaurant right across from the beach.
So here we are on another Cockpit 30 aboard good old Tela. As y'all know, we dipped in here to the marina down in Grand Tarjal, down on the south end of the island of Fuerteventura here in the Canary Islands. The wind's kicking up out there, so we decided to get in here and duck out of the wind for a day or two before we head on to the next one. Y'all, it's about time for a good old sip, so I'm breaking out a new bottle today. Picked up this here Buffalo Trace back on the island of Lanzarote, and if y'all hadn't seen that video, you can click the link down in the description. I'm real excited about this Buffalo Trace because you don't find this just every day over here in Europe. I know you can find it everywhere in the States, but it's pretty scarce over here. Now, as y'all know, this good old Buffalo Trace is made by the Buffalo Trace Distillery, which is owned by the Sazerac Company. And as y'all know, Sazerac makes all the iconic heavy hitters in the bourbon world. Pappy Van Winkle, George T. Stagg, all the Weller stuff, Blanton's, Eagle Rare, E.H. Taylor, Rock Hill Farms, Elmer T. Lee, and many others, y'all. Now, y'all, this here Buffalo Trace, now it's not top tier stuff like all the big boy bourbons we just talked about, but y'all, this here Buffalo Trace is supposed to be made from their mash bill #1. Now, that's their small rye content small batch, and it's supposed to be the same mash bill as Eagle Rare, George T. Stagg, E.H. Taylor, and some others. The only difference is supposed to be maybe how long they leave it in the bottle. This here Buffalo Trace clocks in at 90 proof, and this is a 1 liter bottle, and we got a hell of a deal on this. We got it for just a little over 21 euros, and that's just a shade over 23 bucks US dollars, y'all. Let's see what the distiller says about the tasting notes on this. The distillery says that this Buffalo Trace here is an amber whiskey. How about them apples? Y'all know I am a fan of some amber. The distillery says this good old amber whiskey has a complex aroma of vanilla, mint, and molasses. Says it's pleasantly sweet to the taste with notes of brown sugar and spice that give way to oak, toffee, dark fruit, and anise. This whiskey finishes long and smooth with serious depth. Before I pop this top, I gotta be real honest with you. I had no idea what in the hell anise was, so I had to Google it, and it is a black licorice type flavor. There you have it. Let's get in here and see what this is about. Pause for the cork pop. Definitely get vanilla. I get a little hint of caramel, and I actually do get a little hint of that molasses there. If y'all ain't never had good old country sorghum molasses on a warm, hot country biscuit right out of the oven, ooh, doggy. Let me tell you something. You talking about some fine eating. Let's give her a pour. Now, y'all, on the nose, once it's in the glass, I still get that little hint of vanilla. I get that little hint of them good old sorghum molasses. And I just get a faint, I wouldn't necessarily say mint. To me, maybe it's a little spice, like a little baking spice, like spice sugar cookie or something, but not minty. Well, let's give her a sip and see what she tastes like. Cheers, y'all, to your health. Oh, yeah. Definitely on the front of the palate, I get that good old sorghum molasses, real nice. And then as it finishes on through the palate, I definitely get a hint where they talk about that dark fruit. Now, y'all, I never did get that hint of mint. I did get a little spice hint there, but I really like that molasses finishing into that little bit of dark candied fruit. Real nice. Now on the finish, they say that the finish is long, smooth, and complex. Now I'm gonna be totally honest with you. The finish is kind of a medium finish to me. I wouldn't say it's long, and I wouldn't say it's extraordinarily complex, but I would say that this is very well-rounded, excellent juice, excellent daily sipper. Would definitely be sipping on this on the reg. Very good juice, y'all, but if I'm being completely honest, it ain't up there on the same level as Eagle Rare 10-year. I really like some Eagle Rare 10-year out of the Buffalo Trace stuff, but for every day, bang for the buck, this goes into that sore pecker list. You just can't beat it, y'all.
All right, y'all, we have been in this little marina for 2 nights and it is time to get out of here. There is nothing like starting a passage with some freshly washed hair. So we just went and took showers. We are going to have an afternoon departure. We're going to be leaving here in about 15 minutes. It's 4:15 right now. So we are just going to continue getting everything ready for the next 15 minutes or so. Then we're going to get out of here and we are going to start an overnight passage, arrive to a new island in the morning. Join us.
All right, y'all, we just backed out of our slip here in the quiet, almost sleepy little port of Grand Tarjal. We are heading out on another night passage. I know we've said before, we typically don't like to sail out on an overnight passage. We like to head out early in the morning, but our timing works out to where we've got about a 16-hour passage ahead of us, and we have a rule that we never want to go into a place at night. Being in an unfamiliar area, unfamiliar port, near land at night is a recipe for disaster, in my opinion. I know some people do it, but that's just not our jam. So we prefer to go into a new place during daylight hours. So we're gonna head out and be out overnight. We're leaving about 4:30 in the afternoon local time, which gives us plenty of time to get around to the south end of Fuerteventura and then make our right turn and head across for the passage to Gran Canaria. After sundown, we'll be out in the middle of the ocean making the passage in between the two islands. And in my opinion, that's a safe place to be, out to sea. Much better than being up close to land. At sunrise, we'll make our early morning arrival into Gran Canaria. So y'all come on, ride along with us on this passage as we island hop the Canary Islands.
Boss man, we are headed to a new island.
That's right.
Circumnavigating the globe one wave at a time, one island at a time.
That's right. Getting it done.
All right, y'all. Shawn is getting the mainsail ready to go out right now. Now we're gonna go ahead and get some sail pulled out, so watch this. We just got the sail out, motor off, and it feels really good. We've got in between 20 and 23 knots on the true wind speed. This right here, that is the true wind speed. This is our boat speed. So we are barely even heeled over to a 10-degree angle. Every now and then it slightly bumps over to 10. It is looking good, feeling good. Just sailing away to a brand new island. I feel like that's what we've been doing a lot lately. Over the past like 3-4 weeks is just sailing from island to island. First we sailed to the island of Madeira in the Atlantic. Then we sailed from Madeira, the 300 nautical miles, to Lanzarote. And then from Lanzarote, we sailed to Fuerteventura. Then from there, we are now sailing to another one of the Canary Islands, Gran Canaria. And there's just something really special and adventurous about leaving one shore behind and knowing that a new one is ahead and the only direction is forward and the adventures away. We've been sailing for over an hour now. Shawn is down below getting our dinner ready. Shawn makes the most epic steaks, and last night we had steak for dinner. Oh, it was so good. And I made potato salad, and we had some leftover potato salad, and we're just gonna eat some chicken and potato salad for dinner in a little bit. But for now, we're just sailing onwards to the next shore, the next island, sailing around the world one wave at a time, one island at a time. Dinner is served. We've got chicken and potato salad. It's gonna be so yummy. Underway. So as we are making our way to the tip of the island, we have had a shift in wind direction, so we're gonna have to put everything out on the opposite side. But here's the view. It is currently 10:24. So Shawn is just gonna be taking a little 3-hour nap. I'll go down and do about the same 3 hours and then come back up here. We have officially been 29.7 nautical miles and we've been going for 5 hours and 43 minutes. We've had wind anywhere from 12 knots to 25 knots. When I tell y'all this feels like real freedom, being out here off grid, there is no ceiling, it's just stars. It just feels epic, it feels amazing. I wish y'all could be here on the boat with us so that I wouldn't have to describe how it feels. Y'all could feel this sense of freedom of living on your own terms in this way. But I really, really hope that we're able to convey that feeling as best as possible and that y'all can feel in your own way what this life of freedom is like off-grid. Indescribable, but hopefully we get pretty close. Anyway, that's going to be the update for now, but we'll check back in the morning. Hopefully we'll have a gorgeous sunrise.
After the cameras were off, the sea state took a turn and we sloshed around all night long. Though I wasn't able to keep my dinner down, it's a brand new day and we are happy to almost be at our intended destination, especially after hours of a rough sea state.
All right, y'all, good morning. It was a really rough night. They're officially 2.9 nautical miles out from the marina. Shawn has been working to get our fenders and everything out. We're almost there. We're almost out of this roll. It's been rough.
All right, y'all, we're making our way into the port here in Las Palmas. Going to head to the Las Palmas Marina fuel dock, get topped off and get a berth assignment. We made it through our passage last night, and I'm gonna tell y'all something. It was rougher than a night in jail out there last night. But we made it through in good old Tela. We're looking forward to getting here and getting everything settled in and exploring Gran Canaria today.
Upon arrival to the marina, Shawn wanted to top off our fuel tanks. We hadn't gotten any fuel since our arrival to our first stop in the Canaries, Arrecife, And though we didn't necessarily need fuel, Shawn's rule of thumb is to stay topped off. While Shawn was fueling up, I took Delilah on a little walk to let her stretch her legs. Then it was time to make our way to our slip assignment. And y'all know Delilah made a friend immediately upon arrival with our super friendly boat neighbor. We actually arrived on a Sunday, and though we did some exploring a little later on, the only type of places open for business were like the local McDonald's chain. So we took advantage of the opportunity to get some rest.
Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Leave us a hashtag Telaroo down in the comments if you made it all the way to the end of today's video. Show us some love if you are enjoying our weekly episodes by clicking that like button. And remember, click the subscribe button to stay connected with us throughout this epic experience and journey of sailing around the world one wave at a time. We'll see y'all next time on Sailing Telaroo.